Hello, this is Slate with Combo of Rocks, bringing you another video deck tech of a deck that we built and sold by request. If you're not familiar with us, we make and sell custom budget EDH decks. These decks are light on the budget, so they may not be optimal or competitive, but they're definitely fun and centered around a central theme that you can build on. Today we have Urtet's Remnant of Memnarch, which is a repeat of a deck that we've done before. 3 mana for 2/2 legendary artifact creature Myr. Whenever you cast a Myr spell, create a 1/1 colorless Myr artifact creature token. On your beginning of combat, untap each Myr you control. You can pay Woobrug and tap in to put 3 1/1 counters on each Myr you control, and only during your turn. Let's get into the deck. We have Brutic-clad Telcore Engineer, 4 blue-red for 4/4 legendary artifact creature Phyrexian Artificer. Creature tokens you control have haste. On the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/1 blue Phyrexian Myr artifact creature token. Then you can choose a token you control, and each other token becomes a copy of that token. Rite of Harmony, green-white. Whenever a creature or an enchantment enters under your control, draw a card. So when your Myrs are entering, you draw cards. Flashback to blue or green-white. Legion Stashes, 1 black, white. Exile target non-land permanent opponent controls, and all tokens that player controls with the same name as that permanent. Abstruse Appropriation, 2 white, black with a void. Exile target non-land permanent. You can cast that card for as long as it remains exiled and spend colorless mana as though or mana of any color to cast that spell. Mirror Entity, 2 and a white for 1/1 shapeshifter changeling, so it is a mirror. Pay X to give all of your creatures base power and toughness XX and gain all creature types. Mirrodin Besieged, 2 and a blue. Choose Mirren or Phyrexian. Mirren, whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless Myr artifact creature token, or Phyrexian. On your end step, draw a card, then discard a card. If you have 15 or more artifacts in your graveyard, target opponent loses the game. Aggravated Assault, 2 and a red, 3 red, untap all creatures you control. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase, followed by an additional main phase. Activate only as a sorcery. You can do infinite combat with this, as long as you have 5 Myrs that tap for mana. You'll untap them on your combat. You can tap them again to activate this on your second main phase and keep on going, right? Which brings us to Cryptolith Rite. 1 and a green, creatures you control have tap for mana of any color. Works well with the Aggravated Assault, even though some of our Myrs already tap for mana. Leyline of Abundance, 2 green. If it's in your opening hand, begin with it on the battlefield. Whenever you tap a creature for mana, add additional green. 6 green, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. There is a 1/1 counter sub-theme in the deck. Prismatic Omen, 1 and a green. Land you control are every basic land type in addition to the other types. Just great color fixing. Myr Turbine, 5 mana artifact. Tap to put a 1/1 colorless Myr artifact creature onto the battlefield. Tap it and 5 untap Myr you control to search for a Myr creature card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. Myr Matrix, 5 mana, artifact indestructible. All Myr get +1/+1. Pay 5 colorless to put a 1/1 Myr artifact creature token into play. And Myr Incubator, 6 mana, artifact, 6 tap, sack it, search your library for any number of artifact cards, remove them from the game, then put that many 1/1 Myr artifact creature tokens into play, then shuffle your library. Myr Reservoir, 3 mana artifact, taps for 2 colorless, only to cast Myr spells or activate Myr abilities. 3 and a tap, return a Myr from your graveyard to your hand. Myr Superion, a 2 mana 5/6 artifact creature Myr, can only be cast by creatures that's produced mana. Myr Battlesphere, 7 mana 4/7 artifact Myr Construct. When it enters, create 4 1/1 colorless Myr creature tokens, and whenever it attacks, you can tap X, untap Myr you control. If you do, it gets +X/+O and deals X damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. Myr Welder, 3 mana 1/4 Myr. Tap it to exile an artifact from your graveyard. It has all activated abilities of all cards exiled with it. Myr Propagator, 3 mana 1/1 Myr. 3 and a tap. Put a token that's a copy of Myr Propagator onto the battlefield. Metallic Mimic, 2 mana 2/1. As it enters, choose a creature type. It is the creature type, and whenever another creature of the chosen type enters, put an additional 1/1 counter on it. Lifecrafter's Bestiary, 3 mana artifact. On your upkeep, scry 1. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you can pay green. If you do, draw a card. Genesis Chamber, 2 mana artifact. Whenever a non-token creature comes into play, if it's untapped, that creature's controller puts a 1/1 Myr artifact creature token into play. Myr Galvanizer, 3 mana of 2/2 artifact creature Myr. Other Myrs get +1/+1. Tap 1 and untap each other Myr you control. Shimmer Myr, 3 mana 2/2 artifact Myr. For flash, artifacts can be cast as though they had flash. Myr Retriever, 2 mana 1/1 artifact creature Myr. When it dies, return another artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Myr Enforcer, 7 mana 4/4 artifact creature Myr with affinity for artifacts, costs 1 less for each artifact you control. Myr Landshaper, 3 mana 1/1 artifact creature Myr. Target land becomes an artifact in addition to its other types until end of turn. Aloe Myr, 3 mana 2/2 artifact creature Myr, taps for a mana of any color. Palladium Myr, 3 mana 2/2 Myr, taps for 2 colorless. Gold Myr, 2 mana 1/1 Myr, taps for white. Silver Myr, taps for blue. Leaden Myr, taps for black. Iron Myr, taps for red. And Copper Myr, taps for green. We do have a Soul Ring in the deck, and Arcane Signet. Prismatic Lens, taps for colorless, or filter a mana of any color. Prophetic Prism enters, draws a card, filters to a mana of any color. Shrine of Loyal Legions, 2 mana artifact. On your upkeep, or whenever you cast a white spell, put a charge counter on it. 3 taps, sack, and create a 1/1 colorless Myr for each charge counter on this. Darksteel Myr, 3 mana for 0/1 indestructible Myr. Perilous Myr, 2 mana for 1/1 Myr, then when it dies, deals 2 damage to any target. Myr Sire, 2 mana 1/1, when it dies, create a 1/1 colorless Myr artifact creature token. Myr Kinsmith, 4 mana for 3/1, when it enters, search your library for a Myr, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Skeleton Shard, 3 mana artifact, 3 in a tap or black in a tap, return an artifact creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Binding the Old Gods, 2 black-green for an enchantment saga. First one destroys an online permanent opponent controls. Second one searches for a forest, puts it on the battlefield tapped. The third one gives your creatures death touch until end of turn. Hazardous conditions, 2 black-green sorcery. Creatures with no counters on them get -2/-2 until end of turn. Again, we do have a 1/1 counter sub-theme. Our Urtet puts 1/1 counters on our Myrs, so this should hopefully affecting our opponent's creatures more than ours. Myr Smith, 1 and a white for a 2/1 human artificer. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you can pay 1. If you do, create a 1/1 colorless Myr artifact creature token. Refurbish, 3 and a white to return an artifact card from your graveyard to your battlefield. Knighted Myr, 2 and a white for a 2/2 artifact Myr Knight. 2 and a white, adapt it, so put a 1/1 counter on it. Whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters are placed on it, it gains double strike until end of turn. Era of Innovation, 1 and a blue enchantment. Whenever an artifact or artificer enters, you can pay 1. If you do, you get 2 energy. You can pay 6 energy and sack this to draw 3 cards. Negate, 1 and a blue, counters a non-creature spell. Disdainful Stroke, 1 and a blue, counters a spell with mana value 4 or greater. Underhanded Designs, 1 and a black, enchantment. Whenever an artifact enters, you can pay 1. If you do, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. You can pay 1 black and sack it to destroy target creature, but only if you have 2 or more artifacts. Grave Shifter, 3 and a black for a 2/2 Shapeshifter Changeling. When it enters, return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Resourceful Return, 1 and a black, sorcery, return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If you control an artifact, draw a card. Pilfer, 1 and a black, an opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it, that player discards that card. Inspiring Call, 2 and a green instant, draw a card for each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it, so those creatures gain indestructible until end of turn. Zhang Yingu, Walled Crafter, 2 and a green for a 3 loyalty legendary Yanggu. Whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it has tap for a mana of any color, and you get -1 to put a 1/1 counter on target creature. We have Greenhouse and Rickety Gazebo, which is an enchantment room. The 2 and a green side gives you lands you control tap for a mana of any color. 3 and a green side says whenever you lock this door, mill 4 cards and return up to 2 permanent cards from among them to your hand. Fertile Ground, 1 and a green, enchants a land, then that land taps for additional mana of any color. Song of Freyalise, 1 and green, Saga. First 2, until end of your next turn, or until your next turn, creatures you control have tap for a mana of any color. Third chapter, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. They gain Vigilance, Trample, and Indestructible until end of turn. Broken Bond, 1 and green, sorcery, destroys an artifact or enchantment. Put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. Expand the Sphere, 3 and green, look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put 2 lands from among them onto the battlefield tapped. The rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. If fewer than 2 lands are put onto the battlefield, proliferate equal to the number of times the difference. Basswood Surge, 3 and green, searches for 2 basic land cards, puts them on the battlefield tapped. You can kick it for it at 4 extra colorless to put 2 1/1 counters on each creature you control. Ranger's Path, 3 and a green, searches for 2 forests, puts them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Into some lands, we do have Cinder Glade, which is searchable because it is a mountain forest. Game Trail, Fortified Village, Canopy Vista, again, a forest plains. Corrosion Verge can be sacrificed to search for a forest and a plains. Caves of Koilos, Shivan Reef, Fine Glimmer Snarl, Yavamaya Coast, Waterlogged Grove, Necroblossom Snarl, Viridescent Bog, Tangled Islet, which is a forest and island, Haunted Mire, which is a swamp forest, Murmuring Bosk, which is a forest, enters tapped unless you reveal a merfolk. There are a couple of changelings, so this does have the possibility of coming untapped. Also taps for a white and a black. Spire of Industry taps for a mana of any color as long as you control an artifact. Exotic Orchard, Command Tower, Path of Ancestry, Study Hall, Opal Palace, some filter mana lands here, Unknown Shores, Crystal Grotto, when it enters you scry 1, Hidden Grotto, when it enters you surveil 1, Blighted Woodland can be sacked to search for 2 basic lands, and then we have 2 of each basic here. That's the deck. I hope you enjoyed it, but we'll see you next time.